Hello fellow teammates, the Iron Team here, and in today's video, we'll be going over the mansion locations. So, like in our other location guides, we'll be showing you an aerial look at each mansion and their position on the map, any businesses or popular locations nearby, and lastly, give you our pros and cons of each location. No matter if it's a first time purchase or you're buying a secondary location, this guide will help you determine what's the best mansion for your gaming style. These are all great locations, but a couple of the main things you may want to factor into your decision is their scenic views, if that's important to you, and if you plan on fast traveling to and from your mansions or using some sort of transportation. There's more flexibility location-wise if you like to fast travel. These locations also become a little more valuable if you complete the daily collectible, as some of them are positioned near common collectible spawn areas, which we'll point out as we go through them. Now, if you like to travel to your own businesses, homes, or other points of interest, a mansion closer to Los Santos may be more suitable. So, to get started, you need to go to the Pre-Luxury Real Estate website, and then select Choose Your Property to bring up your mansion options. So, there are 3 mansion locations to choose from, with the majority near the city of Los Santos. And we're going to start with the location farthest south and make our way up. So first we have the Richman Villa in West Vinewood Hills. This mansion can be purchased for a little under $13 million, making it the most expensive location. And this mansion is the most centrally located, basically in walking distance to the city, and you can see it's kind of crammed into this corner. There's not a lot of open space around this one. You have the spot at the bottom of this curve, but that's about it. The majority of the surrounding space closest to the mansion is taken up by cliffs, trees, or several other homes, especially directly behind it. So it may be a little challenging to park something like a MOC or Avenger, for example, extremely close. And the back of this one should look familiar if you played GTA 5 Story Mode or the new listing missions, as it's very similar to the Tongva Mansion. Only real difference is the sculpture architecture designs that flow between the fire pit area and the pool. And it's just the structure design that's changed. They're situated in the same spot. Then the floating hot tub is on the opposite side of the pool area, and the fire pit is at the end of the side section. But outside of that, everything else is about the same. And here's the end of the curve I was talking about. You can see that this part of the hill is decently level. So if you did want to park your Avenger or something right here, you should be able to. And there's a small patch of land straight across from it where you can park some of your vehicles as well. And yeah, that's the view from the front side of the house. You can see the observatory in the distance, which is a common daily collectible spot. The back is a little better though. You do get a view of the city, but that's not really special. All apartments and skyrises within the city have a city view. Oh, and the driveway. The one at this location is extremely small, so if you wanted a long driveway, like the ones you see on mansions in the movies, you're out of luck at this location. And there's a lot of businesses and points of interest near this mansion, which is good and bad, as that brings in a lot of traffic and free roam. You have the golf course and the Insert Coin Arcade, and Ammunition, the Maze Bank West Executive Office, and the Del Perro Heights Apartments, the Long Bank Executive Office, the Del Perro Nightclub. Behind that you have the Vespucci Canals Agency, as well as the Clucking Bell Raid startup location, which is directly across the street from the agency. Then you have the Backlot Medium Special Cargo Warehouse, the Del Perro Bail Office, a suburban clothing store, the Pier and Mask Shop, and the Vespucci Canals Nightclub. Richmond is the most central location, located close to several businesses and points of interest, and it's the closest to the Pier, Mask Shop, executive offices, and LISA. But it's also the most expensive, has one of the worst views, and has a very similar layout to the Tongva Mansion, and sits on one of the highest traffic areas in free roam, which may not sit well for some players. Next, we have the Vinewood Residence in East Vinewood Hills. This mansion can be purchased for a little over $12 million, making it the second most expensive location. This mansion sits the farthest east on the map, and you can see there's a lot of open space around this one. Tons of space to land or park anything you want. And this mansion's layout is unique. Everything's been rearranged. You now have 2 ways to get to the pool area. The architecture structure designs have changed. You now have a series of pillars with vines, and an enclosed pond. And the fire pit is now floating off the deck, and the hot tub is up closer to the back of the mansion. So very different from the Richmond and Tongva locations. It's still built into a mountainscape, but it's just so much more open space. There's even this fenced off area right before you get to your mansion. But there is something you need to be aware of. This mansion sits on a mountain lion spawning spot, so you'll occasionally see them wandering around your property. If they see you, they can attack. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind if you purchase this location. And here's the long driveway. It gives you even more parking space outside your mansion, and it looks great. A nice extra feature to this location. And the view. So this is the view from the front of the house. Mountains again. but it does have the Vinewood sign, which actually kind of makes up for it, especially at night. Then the view from the back of the mansion is a mixture of mountainscapes and the city, but it really displays all the space you have. Even though you're close to the city, you still have that secluded feel. And then you have the amphitheater right next door, which is another common daily collectible spot. And some of the additional businesses and points of interest in the area are a couple of the stilt homes directly behind it, then the downtown Vinewood nightclub, the West Vinewood nightclub, the Eclipse 50-car garage, the large West Vinewood special cargo warehouse, a 2- and 6-car garage apartment, the downtown Vinewood bail office, and an ammunition, the Hawick Agency, the Arcadius and Maze Bank Tower executive offices are also a few blocks down. Then you have a suburban clothing store, and the Freak Shop and Casino are almost next door, and it's also the closest mansion to a facility, the Land Act Reservoir facility to be exact. The Vinewood Residence is the closest mansion to the casino, freak shop, and to a facility. Its position on the map also makes it closest to most major businesses in Sandy Shores. It has the second best view, has a unique layout that differs from the other two mansions, hosts a long driveway, and is the middle priced option. But being close to the casino and freak shop mean it's far from the pier, the air base, and Paleto Bay. That also means it's positioned in a high trafficked area in free roam. It's also the only location without water sculpture architecture designs in the backyard. And a mountain lion spawn area also surrounds this area, which could be an issue for some. This brings us to the Tongva Estate, Devin Weston's former mansion. This mansion can be purchased for $11.5 million, making it the cheapest location. This mansion sits the farthest north and west on the map, and you can see there's a lot of open space around, but it's mostly hills and cliffs, although some of them do flatten out a bit, so you can land vehicles around this location if you want. But this is the OG location. Like we mentioned earlier, most of you have either been to or flew by this location. And you can see the architecture layout in the back of this mansion is almost exactly like Richmond's. So if you like that one, but not its price tag, this would be a good option. The only real difference is the corner the floating hot tub is on, and the water structures have changed to like a bird pool design. And there's not a lot of space to park anything off the road close to this one, as there's some very steep cliffs right before you get to the mansion. And like Richmond, this mansion also has a very short driveway. Looks just about identical. Wood paneling is a little darker though, so there's that. But where this mansion shines is its view. So on the front side you have the mountain range, like the other locations, but on the back you have a clear view of the ocean. Just look at this. Perfect sunsets and rises every day. And this is where the mansion's map location beats the other two. Being so far away from the city allows your view to have minimal light pollution. Such an amazing view. Okay, points of interest and businesses. There's not much. The Fort Zancudo Air Base is in the mansion's eyesight, which is kind of cool. The Chumash Bunker is also nearby. Then you have this shopping center here that hosts a suburban clothing store, tattoo shop, and an ammunition. But that's about it. The Tongva Estate Mansion is the cheapest location, has the best view by far, is the closest to a bunker, the air base, and Paleto Bay, and it sits in a light trafficked area in free roam. But it's the farthest from the city and from most businesses and points of interest, and lacks a designated area to park or land large vehicles and aircrafts around the property, which could be a problem for some players. As mentioned earlier, these are all great locations, but the best spot will really depend on your playing style. Keep in mind, 2 of them were added into the game, so you can expect some temporary issues, but they most likely will be patched with future updates. Okay, so now we want to know your thoughts. Let us know what features you liked or didn't like about these locations. Tell us which mansion or mansions you ended up purchasing, and if their distance to the city played a factor. And if you have additional businesses you're thinking about purchasing, or you want to know how all the mansion's interior options look before you make your purchase, or maybe you're curious about the daily collectibles we mentioned within this video. If so, check out the video and playlist on your screen. Thanks again, until next time, teammates.